Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, 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 Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, 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 Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, 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 Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, 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 Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, 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 Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, 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 Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, 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 Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, 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 Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, 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 Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, 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 Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, 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 Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, 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 Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om, pranams to you all. Hari Om. So we were going through Srimad Bhagavad Gita on peace, some slokas that was completed. Now we'll come back to our chapters. So by this time we must have forgotten what we have seen in first chapter. So we'll just do little revision on first chapter and go back to the second chapter. So in the first chapter titled Arjuna Vishada Yoga, we saw how Arjuna, because of a very strong idea that those with whom I am going to fight are my own people, Swajanam. Swajanam. So, Swa means one's own, Jana means persons. These are my own people, these are my dear ones. So, me and then mine. I am so and so, and these people are related to me. Mine can come only when me arises. So the sense of me and mine, mine. The sense of mine with respect to those with whom he is going to fight. The sense of mine, me and mine. And once me and mine arises, the objectivity will be lost. Me and mine arises, objectivity, that Sakshi Bhava will be lost. Swami Chinmayananda used to say an example that he may be the best of the doctors, best of surgeons, yet if he has to perform surgery on his own wife, my wife, and what would happen is that he will call his friend to do the surgery. But is he not the best of the doctors? He is the best of the doctors, but still, that my comes, So he could be the best of the doctors, but the moment the notion of mine comes, then all objectivity is lost. When the objectivity is lost, the mind becomes clouded. Efficiency, capacity, everything goes for a toss, and one would not be able to bring out one's best. So me and mine enters, what all can take place. See, sometimes when a father or a mother, very capable, good at teaching, and all those things, okay, very good teachers. So, naturally they are loved and respected. They take tuitions also sometimes. Now, suppose, let us say father is so good at mathematics and goes outside, teaches everybody. The same father is supposed to teach for his own son. That fellow had it. Why? Not because the father cannot teach, not because the father is not efficient. The problem is, this is my son. So this is my son, and I am so good, and this is my son. What a dull fellow. And after some time the father decides better to send him to tuition to somebody else. So the whole city comes to study with him, but he has to find somebody to teach his son, isn't it? Usually it happens like that. No? Where me and mine comes, no, me comes, we lose our emotional balance. And the same thing happened to Arjuna. He lost his balance. Me and mine came. So Bhagavan Sri Krishna was also very smart. Arjuna had told Senayor Ubhayor Madhye Radham Sthapaya. Remember first chapter. Hey Bhagavan Sri Krishna, take my chariot and place in the midst of both the armies. Middle in the no man's land. Why? I would like to find out with whom I am going to fight. I am going to plan out in a moment. I am going to work my thoughts with whom I am going to have the first fight, second fight. And what did Bhagavan do? Bhagavan took the chariot, Bhishmacharya, Dronacharya, Mukataha. He could have placed the chariot, such a huge army, he could have taken anywhere. But took the chariot of Arjuna, Bhishma and Dronacharya, Pramukhaha, where he could see Bhishma and Drona. The moment he saw Bhishma, his grandfather, and Drona, his teacher, lot of bonding, love, and immediately in Arjuna came this overwhelming thought, my teacher, my grandfather. From his teacher only he learnt everything. Actually, Dronacharya was very partial to Arjuna. He was his favorite student. Arjuna was a favorite student to Dronacharya. All these emotions of love and attachment, they all started swelling in his heart. And Bhishma Pitamaha, nothing to tell. Bhishma Pitamaha was more than a father to all the 5 Pandavas. The whole Duryodhana, the brothers, 100 of them, father Dhritarashtra, none of them were very loving to these 5 Pandavas when they returned back with their mother Kunti. When they returned back to their own home and the father was not there, Pandu was not there, then Bhishma Pitamaha was so fond of Pandavas, was so fond of, especially to Arjuna. Even when Arjuna as a small boy, when he used to come, he used to put him on his lap. So many of them, but Arjuna was a kind of loved and dear. So with all these kinds of emotions, when he looked at all people, naturally he becomes clouded, his mind derailed, and the swajanam, my own. And then he said, I am not going to fight. The first thing that happened when the swajanam came so strong was sadness. The first thing that happened when the swajanam came so strong was sadness, soka. And when the sadness came and just covered his mind, the sadness is a very deep, incapacitating emotion. It is a incapacitating emotion. In every other emotion, you can do something wrong, like anger, greed, jealousy. You can do something wrong, but sadness is such a emotion that weakens you so much. Sadness is such an emotion that weakens you so much that you cannot do anything. You cannot do anything. So therefore, sadness is a very dangerous and decapitating inner poison, inner virus. Therefore, sadness is a very dangerous and decapitating inner poison, inner virus. Nothing more strong than that to really ruin you. Nothing more strong than that to really ruin you. And thus you find Arjuna, once that sadness came to him, overpowered him, he became very deluded, bewildered. And remember, it is not the sadness. So sadness, when it comes, you cannot think. When the sadness comes, you cannot think, you can argue, you can reason, but everything that you think, you argue. You reason with cloud of sadness overpowering you. Everything you think will go totally wrong. And the beauty of the mind is that mind likes you. And the beauty of the mind is that mind likes to believe what it thinks at that time is right. And the beauty of the mind is that mind likes to believe what it thinks at that time is right. Sometimes, we and others also, they change their mind. Morning they say something, evening they say something. Next day they say something. And you ask them, why are you changing like this? No, that time, why I said that was for that reason. This time I am saying this for this reason. Everybody is convinced about what they are thinking. Nobody feels they are wrong. Everybody is convinced about what they are thinking. Nobody feels they are wrong. Only the other person tells, look, you are wrong. But the person thinks he is right. Only the other person tells you are wrong. Only the other person tells, look, you are wrong. But the person thinks he is right. Because it is the nature of the mind to feel that what it thinks is right. There is no power more stronger to convince oneself than oneself. Very, very convinced. Very fast to jump to conclusion. One lady asked her husband, ladies were discussing about their husbands. What is your husband good at? What is your husband good at? The other lady said, my husband is very good at jumping into conclusions. The mind is very fast in deciding, and especially see when it is clear and there is lot of reasoning required. Then it takes time to think and come to conclusions. If it is required. So if it requires little more longer thinking. But when the mind is sad or under the power of some emotion, then immediately it comes to conclusion. You will find Arjuna, the moment he became sad, he said, Na kankshe vijayam Krishna, na cha rajyam sukhanicha. I do not want, as though he came to the war for himself. A soldier, when he comes for war, he is not coming anything for him. It is for the nation. He lost all the perspective, and with that mind clouded by sorrow, he gave elaborate arguments. Remember, whenever we are sad and give arguments, it is more and more, and they become so talkative, and they do not allow the other person to talk. They become so talkative, they will not allow the other person to talk. In between, no space is provided for other person for even share. But him, no, wait, a diarrhea of thoughts. A diarrhea of thoughts. And Sri Krishna kept quiet. Sri Krishna kept quiet. quiet. Of course, Sri Krishna also kept quiet, because when somebody shares, it is better to listen to than telling anything. Sri Krishna listened to the whole thing, did not say a single word. And Arjuna, after making all the elaborate arguments, one saying that it is not right to fight against our own people, my teacher, my grandfather, Swasuraha, Matulaha, Bhratram, Putraha, Sakhin, fathers-in-law, brothers-in-law, sons, grandsons, all of them are there. But all those arguments, how can I kill them? It is not right. That is not the way a soldier should think. That is not the way a person in administration should think. That is not the people who are givers of law should think. They have no question of my people and all those things. They have only right to do what is right, nothing more. And when the call of duty is there for the soldier, he cannot have the thought that this is my people, not my people. He has to do his duty. It does not matter who is there in the opposite side. You have to do your duty. So one argument was based on it is not right to kill our own people. If we give a lot of papa, sin, and that kind of sin is no good for our future. What kind of future? What kind of future we will have if we come up with so much of sin? So one argument was like that. Another argument was saying that even if we win, let us say what we are going to get. The people with whom you want to enjoy, all of them will be dead and gone. That kind of argument. Finally, he brought the whole list of argument, what difficulty war puts upon the society. Everybody knows war is not a good thing, but there are sometimes when war becomes necessity and the other party is not ready to reconcile. Nobody wanted Second World War, nobody wanted First World War, but then the other party, enemy is not very willing to think. He is too greedy and wants to destroy what is good. Then sometimes war becomes a necessary evil. Why we say necessary is that what the war will bring, the damage what it creates, and what if not war there, the damage it will create. So what the war will bring, the damage what it creates, and what if not war there, the damage it will create. When you look at that, then you have to choose the best of the evils. And sometimes war becomes thrust upon society. In case of Pandavas and the Kauravas, we see very clearly what effort was put to stop the war. Sri Krishna himself finally went to the Kauravas, Duryodhana and all to plead. In fact, not even to strike a peace or truce, but even to plead, let us not do this. We do not want this, and forget about even the country, forget about all those things. Just give 5 villages, not even 5 villages, 5 homes. I will not even give that space where 5 pins are standing. That is how Duryodhana answered to Lord Krishna. I will not even give that space where 5 pins are standing. They tried peace, and even they said, we do not want so much. Sama, Dana, and they tried Bheda also. All Bheda is to take away the supporters of the enemy, so that the enemy does not think war will bring success. They tried to bring Karna out. If we study Mahabharata, you will know how Sri Krishna and the Pandavas tried their best, but nothing worked. Thus, when the war became a necessary evil, at that time the soldier has to do his duty. People sometimes think that Bhagavad Gita is a treatise of war, because again and again Sri Krishna tells Arjuna, Yujyasva, get up and fight. Uttishta, get up. Go to war. So they think that it is a war book. And what is this? We should not have war. And you are saying war, war, war again and again. And this fellow says, I do not want to fight. And Sri Krishna is asking him, he is supposed to be his guru. He is supposed to guide. But he is saying, fight, fight. What is this? I think sometimes wrong propaganda. Propaganda has got its own wings. You say something and other person also wants to say something. He also adds something, then other person also wants to add something. She also adds something, and finally it is big. That is called propaganda. Propaganda is planned out, wanton, destructive rumor, spread very strategically. This is not a treatise which tells you to go to war. It is a treatise which tells you do your duty. Arjuna was a soldier, and for the soldier, duty was to engage in action, and that action is battle for Arjuna. For all of us, it is not war. For all of us, it is whatever duty we are doing. Duty we cannot do perfectly if we do not have objectivity. Duty we cannot do perfectly if we don't have objectivity. Objectivity we will not have if we are deluded. And delusion cannot be avoided if we are sad. And sadness cannot be avoided in life if we have me and mine. Me and mine cannot be avoided unless we know the real nature of the self. So first of all, Bhagavad Gita is not a treatise on going to war. For Arjuna to do the duty of engaging himself in the battle. For all of us, it is a treatise on doing our duty. For all of us, it is a treatise on doing our duty. That is the battlefield, every day morning. Correct? Anyway, duty cannot be performed to perfection if we are deluded. If we are deluded, we won't be able to do our duty properly. Moha. And what is duty in Sanskrit is swadharma. Swadharma for duty. Swadharma cannot be done to perfection if there is delusion. What is the word for delusion? Moha. Moha and delusion cannot be avoided if there is sadness. If there is a sadness, then moha and delusion cannot be avoided. Sadness is soka, or otherwise we call sorrow. In fact, any emotion clouds the mind. Any sentiments, when allowed to go beyond its right proportion, destroys the balance in the mind, and objectivity and soka is one of the most powerful sorrows. Then sorrow cannot be avoided if there is sense of me and mine. For me and mine, what are the words in Sanskrit? Aham, mama. Minus and minus cannot be avoided. I and mine, or me and mine cannot be avoided if there is ignorance. Ignorance about our real nature. So root is ignorance about our real nature. That led to so many things. In Sanskrit, ignorance is called ajnana or avidya. So again let us see swadharma. So before swadharma, swadharma cannot be done properly if there is delusion. Moha. Moha cannot be, or delusion cannot be avoided if there is soka. Soka is sadness. Soka cannot be avoided if there is me and mine, aham, mama, me and mine. Me and mine cannot be avoided if there is ajnana. So this is the problem. So let us say in English, how we will say ignorance. Root is ignorance. Ignorance leads to me and mine. Then me and mine leads to sorrow. Then sorrow leads to delusion, moha. And then absence of performance of duty or non-performance of duty in the right way. Say that in Sanskrit, how do we say? Ajnana, aham, mama, soka, moha, swadharma nasha. We won't be able to do our swadharma. So our swadharma paripalana will not be there. So that is how it goes. So that is what has happened to Arjuna. So it's not Arjuna at that 5,000 years back. Now we are all fighting life battle. So ours also, when me and mine comes, everything goes. So what is Bhagavan Sri Krishna going to teach? Because this is the root of the problem. So he will address from the base to the top. Base to the top means what? The actual problem is ignorance. Sometimes we can solve the problem from top. You can tell Arjuna, see Arjuna was confused about duty, isn't it? So he could have given upadesha of what is duty. You are a soldier. As a soldier, what you must do? The country has brought you to this level, taking care of you. Why? To engage yourself in the protection of the country. Therefore, you should fight. It does not matter who is in front of you. It is the duty of a soldier. To do is the duty of a soldier, or do or die. That's all. Nothing more. It is not do or die. It is do and die if required. Do and win. That is what we hope for. This kind of teachings could have been given by Lord Krishna to Arjuna, but he did not do that. Then Arjuna would have understood what is to be done. Then the problem would have been solved. Then we would not have had Bhagavad Gita at all. That must have completed. No, just he must have finished it then and there. Then we don't get a Bhagavad Gita, isn't it? That is temporary solution, no? The problem came, then what is to be done? Just do, finish. Then next problem comes again, we are stuck. So, permanent problem, temporary solution. That will not do. So for that Bhagavan Sri Krishna was not required. If he had said, even I want 2 minutes break from the war, I want to discuss with my teacher Dronacharya what I should do, he could have gone there, asked him, and Dronacharya would have told, hey Arjuna, I trained you not to run away from battle like this. I am here because of my fate or mistake, by mistake, whatever it is. I am also here because I have been paid salary so far. You see? So you should not go. Dronacharya would have told this and fight, do the duty. For that Sri Krishna is not required. So Sri Krishna is required to solve the problem right from its seed. Where does the seed begin? The seed began in ignorance. When Sri Krishna addresses the problem at its origin, its source of ignorance, then what will happen? The right understanding will happen. Who am I? What is this world? That clarity will happen. When Sri Krishna addresses the problem at its origin, its source of ignorance, then what will happen? The right understanding will happen. Who am I? What is this world? That clarity will happen. Once the clarity arises, then ignorance dispelled immediately. He will understand that me and mine will go away. Then now we will see how it will go away. Now, because in 18 chapters, no, Lord Krishna removes that. So, root, First, Bhagavan Sri Krishna will address the ignorance, the root of the problem. And once he addresses the ignorance, me and mine will go away. Because who really I am, what is my nature comes, the me and mine will go away. Me and mine will go away, sorrow will go away. When sorrow goes away, delusion goes away. When delusion goes away, clarity with respect to what I should do will arise, and Arjuna's problem would be solved. And that is how at the end Arjuna would say, Nashto mohaha, my ignorance is gone and I have regained my understanding. After 18th chapter, last he tells these words. It is not that Arjuna did not know as a soldier what he must do. He knows what he must do. He knows, but the problem is when the sorrow comes, all the knowledge one has will not come to use. When sorrow comes, he was a very great personality, He was victorious and he fought so many wars. Everything was there. We are very wise. All of us are wise. We are wise before the problem and after the problem, not while the problem. We are very wise before the problem, not when the problem comes or after the problem. The wiseness goes up. And that is why we can advise everybody correctly. If we are ignorant, if we are deluded, then we will not be able to. Temporary solutions will give, go and do this way, that way and all. But that is not the solution, We are very wise people, not only we, everybody. Properly educated, well trained. Most of us, most of the people are that way. Everybody. But we do make mistakes. We commit blunders. We create such a commotion in this world. Why? At the time of problem, somehow we become embodiments of ignorance. Before that, such a mountain of wisdom becomes available. Before this happened, mountain of wisdom is there with us. Before that, such a mountain of wisdom becomes available. Because of this series of errors, a comedy of errors, one after another, landing us into such troubles. So it continues. So Bhagavan Sri Krishna would address the ignorance, and once ignorance is addressed, a little bit of education, reminder on what one should do is given. Arjuna would say, I am ready. Therefore, the teaching of Bhagavad Gita is wholesome, not partial. Even though the problem of Arjuna, for which Arjuna surrendered to the Lord, we will see, is about right or wrong. The actual problem of Arjuna is not just right or wrong. He knows what is right, but his knowledge of what is right and what is wrong is clouded by sorrow. It is not that he do not know, but the knowledge is clouded by sorrow. Delusion which has been arisen from sorrow, which sorrow has arisen from absence of clarity. Therefore, Sri Krishna would go to the source of the problem and gives a solution at that level and enable him in life to come to such a level whereby he will never have any problem at all which he cannot face. So if we also go through the Bhagavad Gita, we also will become like this. So Arjuna we are all Arjunas in life. Lord Krishna is there in the form of self in all of us. He will guide us. But only thing is surrender is required. He never spoke till Arjuna surrendered in the second chapter. He just kept quiet. He was silent. Only when he said, I am surrendering, then only he started speaking and giving the knowledge. Therefore, Sri Krishna would go to the source of the problem and give solution at that level and enable him in life to come to such a level whereby he will never have any problem at all which he cannot face. So, if we go to the source, no, then all problems can be handled. So, Bhagavad Gita is not a solution for a problem. Bhagavad Gita is a solution for all problems of life. Bhagavad Gita is not a solution for one problem. It is a solution for all problems. Problems of life. Therefore, what we should do? We should read Gita. We should understand. We should surrender to the Lord who is seated within us. So Vinobhave says, if we can speak to Arjuna at that time, now also Sri Krishna is there with all of us in our hearts in the form of self. If we are sincere like Arjuna, straightforward, if we hand our reins of mind, he will also speak to us Gita directly. That is what he says. We can listen from his own words. So the first chapter presented to us the Soka and Moha of Arjuna. Suppose somebody asks us to say the first chapter in one line, what do we say? What it shows? The sorrow and delusion of Arjuna. Arjuna had delusion, sorrow. Sorrow came, then delusion. That is the thing in first chapter total. Can you, what is the whole first chapter is essence? Arjuna, Soka and Moha. So that is how first chapter, because we have studied, we must have forgotten. Now we were in second chapter, we are doing revision. Otherwise, after few days, we forget what we talked, what we learned. So now what is the root? Whenever problem comes, we should not look for the temporary solution. What we do in life is, we just handle that, then we are okay for some time. Then till next problem comes. Next problem comes, again we will be like that. Again we try to solve it. We continue like that. So in Papa's life, he was going through successive failures, continuous problems. One after the other, one after the other, one after the other. By that time one is solved, then again for some time again. So finally after a few years, he got fed up. Then a heart cry came, where is rest, where is relief, really from within. Then intuitively he had the answer from that power directly. Trust me, thou shalt be free. I will take care. You just trust me. Leave everything to me. Come to me. Surrender to me. That's it. Then he understood. God has blessed him with his vision. So then he started his journey. Then he understood the problem solving. At that time also mounting liabilities were there. So much problems were there. Then slowly he started chanting the name of the Lord. Then slowly peace started coming. Then he continued. The more he chanted, the more peace he was feeling. Oh, then he understood, oh, this is the way. Then slowly he handed over everything to somebody. Then he left. So permanent solution he looked for. So in our life also, whenever problem comes, root we have to go. Source. Then once root is known, no, then we will be able to handle anything. That's why Papa also says, go to origin of your life and the world life. So that is how it goes on. Anyway, So we'll go to second chapter. So root cause is what? Ignorance. Ignorance of what? Who really I am. I am thinking I am the body, mind, intellect, which I am not. This is an equipment, instrument of Lord. But I am thinking this is me. And what all belongs to this is mine. Me and me, mine. That is the root cause. Yeah. Wrong thinking. Then all one leads to the other, one leads to the other, one leads to the other, goes on and on and on. Really we don't know who really we are. We are that, Papa says, the God is one, who is seated in everybody. It is not an entity. It is a subtle, mysterious power. One power which is seated in everybody's heart. All manifestation, only He is there. So we have to recognize that. We should realize. That's why this ashram ideal is, Papa when ashram started, he said the ashram's ideal is universal love and service. But he said how to do? Based upon the universal love and service should be done based upon vision of divinity in all beings, creatures and things. The divinity, the word divinity means the common thread, common denominator, common factor which is there in all. That we should identify. So he said first you have to identify the divinity within yourself, experience it. When you know experientially, then when you come out with that experience, you will be able to identify the divinity in others. Then only it is possible for you to do universal love and service. That is the purpose of this ashram. So to identify that divinity first within myself, there is a sadhana, discipline called sadhana, prescribed by him, given by him, that is nama, seva, dhyana. He said all three should be done simultaneously. If we do all these three simultaneously, he said you will have experiential knowledge. You will be able to experience the divinity first within yourself. So nama is chanting of any name of the Lord whom you love and like, with faith and devotion. Why? Because all names and forms are nothing but expression of one power of God. It is a subtle, mysterious power. It is not an entity. For a common man to understand, he also said, life is the expression of the Atman. God is in the form of life principle in all. Because easy for us to understand life. When life is there, we are alive. We all know about it. When life goes, we become a dead body. So easy for us to understand. And when life is there, all activities are going on in this body. All organs are functioning, We are able to speak. We are able to see. We are able to hear. We are able to move about. Breathing is going on. Digestion is taking place. All are happening, Can we say we are doing breathing? Because when we sleep also it is going on, We cannot say we are doing, Can we say? No. So there is some power which is doing this, isn't it? I may eat different food, you may eat different food, some other will eat different food, but all food was Aham Vaisvanaru. He is there in the form of Agni, Jhataragni. Then he digests inside, then everything is converted into energy, then percentages differ, Each part it is sent, what is waste left over will be thrown out through stools, urine, isn't it? All mechanism is going on. Are we doing it? God is in the form of life, doing everything silently, isn't it? Inside, outside, inside whoever is doing, same power is doing outside also. But we are thinking we are doing. Actually it is happening. Everything is happening, no? Breathing is taking place. Digestion is taking place. Blood circulation is taking place, isn't it? Everything is happening here. And same instrument, when life leaves dead body, all organs are present, but no activity is going on, isn't it? No organ is functioning, no? Is any organ functioning in dead body? No. That is the proof. When life is there, it is happening. That means it is that power which is doing, no? This is only an equipment. That's why it will not stay, no? After life goes, it decomposes. We have to throw, no? We won't keep. If it is a Mahatma also, great soul, but still body won't be kept, no? Existence is not possible without God's presence in the form of life. Everything is done by that power. So Papa says how the things are happening inside, outside also, it is that power which is activating you and doing it. You are thinking you are doing it. Because you are thinking you are the doer, you caught into bondage. So he says Nama. Nama is chanting of any name of the Lord with devotion, with faith. Then what does the Nama do? What is mantra? Mantra is nothing but sound symbol. But it has got intrinsic power. That's what they say. So why are we trying to go on repeat the mantra? Presently, so many thoughts are rushing into the mind, isn't it? Mind is nothing but bundle of thoughts. So many thoughts are rushing. So what we are trying to do through mantra chanting is, we are trying to train our mind to hold on to one thought of mantra is also a thought. Mantra chanting is a thought. We are trying to hold on to one thought continuously so that other thoughts are not allowed. Exclusion of other thoughts, we are trying to hold on to one thought continuously so that one pointedness comes. So to hold on to one thought, exclusion of all other thoughts. That is the purpose of chanting. So Papa says if you regularly go on practice, make a habit of chanting, Nirantara Nama Smarana, if it can go on, then other thoughts slowly reduce and it will vanish. After that, if I am able to hold on this one thought with full attention, concentration, one-pointedness, after some time, this thought also ceases. One thought. Then we will be able to experience that divinity within. What is the curtain between us and that self is thought. Once the thoughts, what happens, what do mantra do is, mantra when we go on chant, Nirantar Namasmarana, it goes deeper, 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 travels. Then finally it goes to that subtle mysterious power called divinity, it gets merged into that power. Like rivers, no, running towards the ocean. Finally what happens, it goes and gets merged into the ocean. Then there is no entity called river, but it has become one with the ocean. Then only ocean remains, isn't it? Like that mind, no, travels, goes through sound, no, goes and deeper, 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 and goes and merges into the divinity. Then becomes one. then mind as such won't exist. That divine power will start directly acting through that personality. That is why Mahatmas, no, there is no mind to them. Divinity will be working directly in them. So it is a training giving to the mind, mantra chanting. So through that we can realize mantra has two benefits. One is it brings the mind to one pointedness, another is it purifies the mind. Both it can do. Then seva. So Papa says your inner aspiration should be compatible with outer activity. So outer our life should be compatible with our chanting. So chanting we are doing to realize Him. So outer my dealings with society, family, profession, society should be such that it should help me to do this. So seva means usually we think, going and doing some charity, giving some money. But Papa says differently. Papa says the time, when the time we wake up, from the time we wake up till night we go to bed, whatever we think, whatever we talk, whatever we do, we should do with love and gratitude. That is called seva. We should not leave one act also. Every activity. Papa says do not avoid activities, because you have not asked. God has placed you in family, profession and society. Only thing what you can do is divinize the activities. Make work as worship. Make karma as yoga. Yoga means union with God. No need to change any activities. Whatever you are doing, that you make into divine. But how to do that? He gave a technique and skill, a tip. So every day we do all activities. No, simple thing is when we get up, we fold the bedsheet and keep. When we go brush and keep the brush. These are all routine, we won't avoid. Wherever we are, we will be doing same acts. Simple thing onwards. So he says when you fold the bedsheet, keep, while keeping, now I just keep it. While keeping, he says, do it with love and gratitude. But how to bring that gratitude, bhavana into me, feeling? It has to be, feeling has to come from the heart. How to bring that? He says that bedsheet has helped you in the night. Bring that. Feel, oh, it has helped me. Then feeling comes. Then keep. When we brush it, while keeping the brush, it has helped me to cleanse with love and gratitude. When we take bath, we are using mug, bucket. All are helping me, Soap, towel. So when we use the soap while keeping, now also we keep, but there is no feeling added. He says add the feeling of love and gratitude. Then it becomes divine. It becomes worship. It becomes yoga, karma yoga. No bondage, freedom. That is the secret of work. That is what Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. That is what Papa has given. Work should be done with love and gratitude, then it gives you freedom. If you just do as a work, it becomes bondage. That is the secret. But every act you have to add. Then you use the commode. Is it not helping us? A commode's duty, only a commode can do, isn't it? I should be thankful, gratitude. When we leave the chapel with love and gratitude, because it helped me. Everything, when I take a glass of water while keeping with love and gratitude, it has helped me. When I use the fan with love and gratitude, when I use the chair, love and gratitude, when we use the mic, anything, mobile, book, a bag, watch, specs, is it not serving us? So we just don't keep it with love and gratitude. When we take a pen and write while keeping with love and gratitude. When I use a book with love and gratitude. Everything. Family level, professional level and social level. Whatever we use. So nothing is unimportant, nothing is irrelevant, nothing is insignificant. No one is irrelevant, no one is insignificant, no one is. This mantra we should remember. That is what Papa says. That is called seva. Papa says if you are able to do in all activities, if you are able to bring this gratitude and love, throughout the day, mind will be soaked with love. It becomes serene, calm, quiet. And when you are doing, keeping with love and gratitude, you keep, perfection comes. Because consciously you are doing. No? That means every act you are doing consciously. Mind gets trained to be in the present. It won't go future or the past. Present itself is a gift, isn't it? Sorrow won't be there. Sorrow will be there only when you go either future or the past. Then mind gets habituated. Till then I need to train. Once it gets habituated to be in the present, then my sadhana becomes easy. When we sit for japa or meditation, it got so much trained, it thinks I am supposed to be here only. I should not go anywhere. Then for us it is easy to do our japa and meditation. Then mind is available. Papa says dhyana. Dhyana is meditation, is to take that available mind deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. Then we go deeper and deeper, we will be able to feel the presence of that Lord inside, the divinity. Experiential knowledge we will have it. So that is called seva. This is what he has given the sadhana. This is what goes on here in this ashram. So Naam, Dhyan, Seva. Through that we can realize source. Once we know, like Lord Krishna said, no, go to the seed, go to the source, origin. Then we will know everything. Because same divinity is there, which is there in me, in everybody. Then I can't, but I love everybody, I serve everybody. Because I am only there in everybody, no? The power which is there in me is there in everybody. Then there is no otherness. There is no separateness. I feel one with all. The other may be indifferent, but I don't feel because they did not understand, but I understood. God made me understand. God awakened me. I also pray to God to awaken everybody, awaken others also. My attitude totally changes. I'll be in midst of problems, but nothing will affect. I'll be able to maintain my inner peace and happiness 24 hours, 365 days. I'll be handling the things, what is to be done, rightly I will be doing. So life will go on smoothly. Smooth ride of life will be there. So that is the purpose. That is how Papa also Arjuna. So Lord Krishna also, he did not just solve the problem then and there and then said, okay Arjuna, you go. No. So Mahatmas are like that. When we approach them with the problem, they tell, go to the origin. That is the solution. But we go for a temporary solution. Mostly we ask, I had this problem, how to, see, I want to come out of it. Anyway, God's grace. And tomorrow we'll start the second chapter. First chapter because we want to review. Otherwise, no, we forget. After few days, no, that will go away. So that is the reason we did the revision. So tomorrow we will take up the second chapter. So whenever we go and ask any Mahatma, the solution should be permanently, not for a temporary solution. That's why they change gurus, they change people, no. I went there, no, immediate solution was there, so I'll go to that guru, no. The guru who says to go to the origin because it takes time, no. So we are not interested. Most of them, that's why they want immediate solutions. Root very very few people. Bhagavad Gita, he also says Krishna. There are 4 types of devotees. So many will come. Anyway, it will come. Time is over. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om Pranams. We'll continue tomorrow. Hari Om.